Hey, thanks for tuning in. It's Wave Talks. We're on the road. We're in Scottsdale, Arizona today. Lucky enough to be in the Scottsdale branch on the same day that Savant is hosting their advanced training. We're really lucky to have some really great guests when it comes to the topic of Savant. Trevor de Maat is with Savant. He's visiting in the Scottsdale area. And Robby Burrage is our in-house Scottsdale champion for Savant. So we're going to, Robby, good to see you. Trevor, thanks for being in town. Really learning a lot. This is the second episode. If you missed the first episode, which is a little bit more basics, how to get into automation, how to get into Savant, go back and listen to that one. Unless you're already a Kung Fu champion, and then you're in the right place. Robby and Trevor are going to talk about what's coming, what's new, tips and tricks that you can share. So let me turn it over to you guys.
Yeah. So asking a question from, where an integrator would be coming from. So we offer the training on Savant University. We offer training in branch like we're doing today. So for somebody who wanted to get even more advanced training, is that an option that they might have if they wanted to go to Massachusetts at Savant home base?
Yeah, so there's always the option available. I do think that like the trainings, bringing it into the branch is ideal. And we're kind of like in the home turf. We can work with you guys together. But like I've mentioned in the other episode, like there's many ways of getting the education. We can do it also, I'm going to call it virtually or remote. Like we do a lot of remote sessions. But I think also what it comes down to is like the opportunity to work on a design and actually do that together with your team, our team, all together. What I've always liked to do with the dealers when I was in the direct business was actually like helping dealer with the design, but also going to site. Like, let me help you with the first job. I think it's really important for anyone to feel like we're in this together or a partnership. And let me help you kind of like go along the way. Because I truly believe that once you use our software and you kind of see the basic steps, you kind of like, I got it. I can figure this out. And it is then so scalable that you can really grow a system into anything you possibly want to do. So yeah, again, back to the core question, like there's many ways you can get educated and everybody has their own preference.
Yeah.
Some like it in person, want to be able to ask questions. Others like to do it in their own time. Go onto a university and watch the videos, ideally with some equipment on hand in your own home. I believe very, very much into owning some gear. I have tons and tons of equipment in my home, all in alpha environments. So I live it every day. I think it's great to learn what the possibilities are of a system. But I think it's also important that you can express the experiences you have in your home, like how that actually works, how it helps your family enjoy the home and the smart home. And I think that's easy then to relate to your clients. So yeah, again, there's many, many ways that we work together in educating. And again, I really appreciate it from Wave Electronics as well.
No, absolutely. And I've actually gotten to finally start playing with the GE lighting. Was able to get one of the indoor LED strips and set it up, one behind my TV to kind of create that color backsplash, and then one behind my headboard in my room to kind of create the same thing. So, I mean, I know that for a long time we had the GE equipment that would work within certain aspects, but not completely with Savant within the ecosystem. So what new products do we have looking forward to from the GE lineup?
Yeah, and just to kind of like, just to step back a little bit, like a few years ago, we bought a not so small company, GE Lighting, and everybody was like, what the heck? It's like Savant buy this company.
I was like,
and it was like, holy smokes. But it really opened up a lot of avenues for us, not just for us, but also on the GE side, and like bringing our software capabilities into their product. But we wanted to have an avenue of like more offering in the lighting space. So not just light switches. We have an awesome line of Metropolitan Echo light switches, but like how about expand that category into like fixtures, light strips, like you mentioned. And so initially that lineup was let's say compound of sync product and more standalone, and slowly but surely we've been able to move this into, we call it, let's say, GE smart lighting, moving all of those parts and pieces into the Savant eco system. I actually happened to grab one with me today. I flew this in from New York. So this is our newest wafer. This is our 4-inch wafer. Downlight, let's say, that is now part of the Savant family. So these run on Wi-Fi. So they're all Wi-Fi connected. And now they can be part of like your Savant engine. What's neat is over the years, we developed some really, really good interfaces like easy to use temperature. People don't really understand temperature of a fixture. And they think they buy something nice and then they come home and it's 5,000 Kelvin. They can't sleep at night.
Yeah.
That is built into our software. Very easy to navigate for the temperatures. We have daylight mode in here as well, so circadian rhythm lighting that we're now introducing into, let's call it a $30 switch. A $30 downlight. So like really advanced technology now in equipment that's affordable, very well built because of GE. And so we have many ways to expand on it. And slowly but surely, we're bringing that entire line over. So it's downlights from shortly 2-inch to like 6-inch. Light strips, like you mentioned. We have indoor, outdoor, multiple versions. We have light bulbs in all sorts of different ways. And actually, a little fun fact as well, and we have it in our demo space today, is also the light strips have microphones built in. So you can do some really good, let's say, quality living with our lights, like the right temperature. Maybe you want to run daylight mode. But hey, you know what? Once in a while, we like to throw a party, have some tequila, some beers, and let's get the music going. And why? That would be nice if the lights would change as well. So we got the microphones built in so that lights can actually go on the rhythm of the music. Comes all built in. So it's a really nice expansion. And I'm super excited what we're doing with the GE Lighting acquisition now. It's really coming in full play.
Can you both or either of you talk about in the room, some of the attendees for the training today clearly know what they're doing. Yep. They were very excited to hear about the circadian rhythm adjustments. Is that a new feature, or is that something just with the app that controls these lights? How does that work?
Yeah, so circadian rhythm by itself is not necessarily new, but it hasn't been really implemented in an easy way. And so that's something that I think, again, that we've done very well. I mean, I know I'm wearing the brand here, but if I just like listen to what people tell us, like, this is so easy to set up. So there's an element in Blueprint where you like basically assign a light fixture or multiples into a circadian rhythm mode. Like we call it daylight mode to give it a bit of uniqueness here. And then these lights within a room, let's say, or multiple rooms can be part of that experience. Then kind of going back to what Savant is also very well known for is that customer experience, like giving their own experience. Customer can go in and say like, okay, I want the lights to come on a little bit brighter at a certain time frame and maybe a different temperature. So they can give their own personalization to it and really create their own circadian rhythm in the house with all of our fixtures. This could be from like let's call it a $600 light can to that $30 light can here. And so that's unique software that's built in that can run automatically, and it comes with it. Yeah, and no other brand in their industry has got this yet.
Yeah, and it's certainly something that does make a huge difference. For anybody who doesn't understand what circadian rhythm lighting is, the idea is that you want to have the lights in your house match the same color temperature as daylight outside, and it's supposed to help with overall health, both whether it's skin tone or rest. And as the day goes on, the light changes as far as the color temperature goes, and puts your body into a ready to sleep mode, for example. And when I first heard about this, I was at CEDIA, exploring the Savant booth, where that was the first time I'd ever heard of circadian rhythm, and was just kind of blown away by it. And at the time, this was probably 6 years ago, it was very cost prohibitive.
Yeah.
Whereas now with GE coming in and the fact that they have made all these updates and changes to light switches and various other Savant lighting equipment, circadian rhythm, you can put that onto almost any home at this point. I've got it at my house, and all of my living room lights, all of my hallway lights, going up to my kids' bedrooms, all that's pre-programmed. Everything comes on its own. When the light's turned on, it matches the Kelvin for where that sunlight or daylight mode should be at throughout the day. And it's noticeable. It's very noticeable. My wife loves it. I'm a huge fan of it. She's wanting me to expand more and get more of the house into it, but busy. So
this is what the theme I keep hearing is, once you've started with automation and lighting and controlling your home, you're kind of doomed. Yeah. You continue to add, and then you move to the new house and you start there.
Yep. It's like vinyl. People get started in vinyl, and then next thing you know, they've got all of it.
Yeah.
And it's interesting you mentioned this. We sell this product in many different channels. So like you could even go to your local Lowe's and buy some of the wafers. And the thought process here is very much like, hey, start with something that you just found like, oh my goodness, I love this. Well, how can I do this in a much bigger way in the home. Most homeowners are not going to do it themselves. They'll start with a bulb, but now they need a pro. And so this is where we come in as an industry. Let's just take that in, add some more lighting in it, and then you can grow. And I honestly feel like our platform is so easy to scale. Like you can always add. I mean, I've been doing this for 10 years with Savant. I'm always adding something. It's very easy to do. So you can start small and then add more and more. And then, like you said earlier, like you can just take some of the equipment, move to the new home, or then say like, hey, you know what? Start fresh with a bigger home.
Yeah.
We want people to like experience it.
Yeah.
Even if it's in a one-room scenario, like a beautiful apartment, get to learn it and be like, you know what? Yeah, I want more of this. And so like really like growing with the system.
I got you guys sidetracked. You were talking about new products.
Yeah.
So what else is happening that you already know about or that Trevor can share?
So yeah, the other one is I know that shades have been really big too. So it's been something that's kind of been, held back a little bit in the distribution market. Yep. More of the direct side of things, but I can see the press is coming.
Yeah.
We've started receiving in shade books that show the Mermaid fabric and Vertilux, different types. So if you can, please, whatever info you can give me on shades that I can give to, our dealers or anybody watching this would be awesome.
Awesome. Yeah. So like, we've had a partnership with a company called James Geiger or Jay Geiger. Really like a pioneer in the shading industry. And maybe the camera can pick this up as well. It's a beautiful designed shade technology, like simple, but like high-end premium design. I always call it personally like designed to be seen. You don't want to hide this. It's kind of like having your car with like regular wheels and you put a wheel cap on it. No, this is designed to be seen. Beautiful materials being used here. Why we held off for a little bit longer in the distribution channel is it's not easy with this particular design to sell and to really make the process of ordering easier. And now we've got this new design here that's called Inception. So like I've got basically like a 2-piece material here where I've got the bracket that's going to hang on the wall. This is the part you basically have to level. If you've got this level, and honestly, I think anybody can do that. It's just like slap this on and basically I have now a hanging screen. So I'm going to show you, or I can tell you like here with like within 4 minutes, you got a really nice shade hanging with that premium finish. And so we felt now with actually now also purchasing this company, we just purchased the company in December, like we can go to market now with our partner in crime here and bring this really to our dealer base. And it's a simple, awesome, easy install. And it's just this beautiful installation. I have here the black version of it. We have white and we have also machined aluminum as well. So like really nice solution. And I think we can do some good damage here.
Yeah, absolutely. Shades are huge.
Robby, where is our current commitment on this shade product? Is it in our price sheets? Is it available?
Yeah, it's in our price sheets. I am aware of that. I know that Christina and the group have gotten that all updated. Mm-hmm. And I do know the tool's up and running now as well, right? For the shade designer. Yeah,
we got a beautiful tool. It's very like visual designed and so it's easy to navigate for. You can make changes in it. You can actually change also very quickly by just like clicking. Well, it's hard to show this now, but like moving the motor from one side to the other. One other really, really great solution in this is, which is again a bit unique, kind of Savant thinking, is in this particular shade. If I use the Inception, we've got the battery option as well. So battery and wireless communication. And it's the battery that's inside the tube. The fabric goes over the tube. And if you need to recharge it, battery have to charge at some point. Typically, they last about 8, maybe to 10 months or so. There's a little magnetic cable that just snaps into its place, and you can charge the shade again. So really like kind of like a newer solution there as well. But yeah, it's all up and running. We're actually training on it as well with Wave. And I think the tool, Robby, is kind of like the piece that we just got to bring attention to with our dealer base.
Absolutely.
From there on, it's kind of like, can't go wrong.
Yeah. I mean, dealers can't sell what they don't know they have access to. So just making sure they understand, what lineup they have. And that's awesome with the battery powered stuff and the retro capability of that and not having to do D-cell batteries like some of the other competitors out there where you're, spending $150 on D-cells that are going to last you a year.
Yeah. And it's just such an easy ad. Like, look, every home has some window covering on it. And so why not make that a beautiful design? This can integrate into our smart soundbar for like a small application or into our Zipper One, one of the most popular amplifiers that we sell with Wave, or like a full-blown illumination. It's an easy attach. And I hope our dealers combined will actually look at this and give this a try, because it's a really neat solution. So yeah, one of the other new ones.
So you're showing us the mechanical and the mounting part of the shades. What about the emotional fabrics and the choices and the colors? How is that going to happen in the world of shades with Savant?
Binders.
But he's got props.
Yes.
Oh man.
Oh yeah.
No,
Okay.
and this is, it's fairly industry standard for shades.
Hold on. How many times have you used this book yet?
I have not used this book yet.
So it's brand new.
Brand new.
How are you going to use this book with our current dealers for Wave?
Well, the biggest thing is going to be showing them that we have it, that they have access to it, that it's affordable. Yeah. So, I mean, the book itself is going to have the variety of different fabrics in there. It's going to have the different colors, the different styles. And it gives somebody the ability to look at what they might be getting in their home itself, to see colors, what design they want, what kind of blackout level do they want? Do they want it to be sheer where it allows in plenty of natural light, or they want it to be 100% blackout, not a single drop of light comes through? They can make those decisions, and it's not just limited to one. You can have multiple shades as well, that I've seen in quite a few different settings, where you can go from a sheer to a blackout, depending on what part of the day you're in.
And Robby, this book is part of a dealer kit, or is this a Wave kit? Then they come and borrow ours.
So it is a dealer kit. They're going to want to purchase this themselves. It's very, very affordable. It is in our part system already. We do have to order them, so there is a wait period to get it, a couple days.
Yep.
But once they have this book, it's theirs. So they have it with them on every meeting they go with a customer. Yeah. So if they start talking about shades, they can bring this out and immediately start striking while the iron's hot. And
what's great, I saw the name on it, Geiger. So it's, Savant made the best of the resource, right? Mm-hmm. Geiger was already doing this. They know how to do this process for the integrator to present it to the consumer. Correct. So it sounds like the tools are dialed.
Yeah, I mean, Geiger's been in this business before we acquired them, about 10 years, close to 10 years. Yeah. We wanted to bring it in-house, like really form that full partnership. And we talked about batteries earlier, the same thing. We tend to kind of like buy the technology. And so we brought it in-house so we can actually kind of like continue to develop it. But there's years and years of experience behind it. And like Robby, like you said, the dealers most of the time invest in the fabric books because in the end, the client needs to figure out what material goes on it.
And it's not a fast decision. I mean, there's some things there to look finishes.
At. Yeah, there's colors, there's types of fabrics. Now you're looking at like the see-through factor. Is it 3% or 1%, 3%, 5%? There's a lot of factors that come into play, and you need samples. So everybody that is interested in using our Inception shades, grab yourself a sample book. I'm sure, Robby, you'll be like, hey, for the first time, I'll help you out. Please bring back the book. Yeah. Right? Because they tend to move away.
They disappear.
They disappear. But like anything we can do to help out, because I think once somebody figured out like, oh my God, this was a really great sale, and then also super easy to install, I got to invest in this. And like we do in our industry, you buy the right tools. This is part of that tool set. Buy the right book. But this is I'm super excited about the expansion. I'm very excited that we can now do this with Wave Electronics well, because we've got the right design tool. I think we have the right product with Inception shades, and that we can mark this together.
Yeah. No, and any dealer out there, speaking to anybody watching this, if you are not doing shades, you are leaving so much money on the table. Lighting and shades right now are the biggest things outside of maybe CCTV, but lighting and shades are always going to hold true. They make a lot of margin, and they're needed in every house. It is such a big market. So I encourage every dealer out there, get involved in shades, get involved in lighting if you're not doing it already.
Yeah. So talking about lighting, shades, what other new products do we not want to forget to touch on? Something else?
In the energy space as well. So we finalized a purchase of Palm Cube this latest past year that is now called PS20, Savant Storage 20. So we've completed our energy solution. I don't think we're going to get into the solar panel business. I mean, gosh, you never know with Bob Madonna, but I kind of doubt it. But it really completes our story around like renewable energy and integrating it, and we'll continue to expand on it. We are on the verge of starting a new beta for our dealers. Our dealers participate in beta as well on a new Savant OS 11. And so there's going to be some new software enhancements. I think for guys that know us, you know, like every quarter or so, we've got something else that we move. So we never sit still, never dull moment. And we're going to see more music. Qobuz is like a really high-end, premium, high-res resolution music service that we're going to add. We have more of these GE smart lighting fixtures coming to us. And I think shortly we'll see also our new Savant voice with Siri moving into this beta platform as well. So if all goes well, come June, we'll have like a really big release again with new voice engine by Siri, more Savant smart lighting, and some other software enhancements as well. So it's never a dull moment. We keep going.
On the least bit. No, and personally, one of my favorites is the modules. You know, the smart power modules are amazing. I've had a chance to do a couple of jobs, one from, you know, a pure, you know, design standpoint, where we did a full panelized lighting setup, which was awesome. And then a couple retro jobs for some of the older Lutron systems that are out there that are already kind of wired for that. One of the cool things that I've seen too, I mean, obviously you're working with line voltage. Not everybody has, you know, an electrician on staff or on hand. In every one of those jobs I've done, we've been able to bring an electrician in that had no knowledge whatsoever of Savant or anything along those lines. And they were able to understand very easily on the install side because it's built and made, you know, very intelligently and very, very user friendly.
And with the electrician in mind, it's actually, I appreciate you bringing this up because like what Bob went out to do when he designed this was like, an electrician needs to be able to install it. It's got to be that easy. Yeah, and it's a module that clicks right into your electrical panel. And you're right, it's for retrofits and for new construction. And maybe in retrofit, you need to find a little bit of space, but there's usually a way to pull it off. And then it's just wired with like your load goes in and your load goes out. So like it's pretty straightforward. And the fact that you then get this information on that LCD screen on the module itself is just like a super easy feedback tool on there. And then we have the Power and Light app to set it up, which I mean, honestly, anybody could do with the app if you can just simply read. It really kind of like guides you through the process of like enabling these modules in a panel. So it's exciting to see that grow. And it's initially, I think we all looked at it like lighting modules in an electrical panel, or like relays in electrical panel. What are you thinking? But every house has one, and we're trying to make every electrical panel smart out there. And it seems to be working pretty well.
It works great,
very well. Huh?
I mean, the 3 jobs I've done haven't had any issues with them. They've, you know, everybody that's had it loves it, you know, so it's effective. It's very effective.
Yeah, and I think that's what we see overall with our systems. Like I remember the day that we came out with our IP amplification, our AVB technology. And I remember the days that the like dealers were telling me, or like you guys were telling me like, oh, well, why are you doing this so different? Like, and now it's like, we rely on it. It's like,
couldn't do it another way. Yeah.
Why would you even try it any other way? And once you kind of get the idea of like, hey, I got an AVB system over network and I can decentralize it, like having multiple areas in the home with equipment in it. It's the same thing that we do with our lighting. It doesn't have to be one panel. It could be multiple panels around the house. And typical in Savant's fashion, we bring it all together in one single system. So it's it's done as well. It's done as very well. And building our really energy platform based on that as well.
Yeah, that's great. Well, one thing I wanted to touch on, I know we talked about education and the Savant University, but I know that Wave brings technical support, advanced technical support. I know Brett is very technical. We know Chris Duffield's team is very technical. Can you talk about what is the level of technical support for Savant, whether it's basic or intermediate or advanced, and what sets us apart there?
I mean, I think that we've got all of them covered. You know, I consider myself to probably be about an intermediate level of support for guys. I, you know, try to make sure that my dealers that I work with, if they've got questions, they can ask me. If it's advanced to the point where I either can't see the system or can't necessarily help them with it at that time, then, you know, pass them over to tech support. With everything being online nowadays and everything being so wonderfully controlled through Savant Central, you know, our tech support guys can jump right on, grab that system program file, jump right into the file and see what's going on, make any other changes that need to do it. And they do that in time with the dealer right there with them. So the dealer is not only being helped, they're also learning. You know, it's a great learning experience. And I've had plenty of dealers that have come to me and just been like, wow, your guys' tech support, they're amazing because they
That's
show
great.
me this stuff and I don't have to.
That's all you ever want to hear, right? They're great. They solved my problem.
Yeah.
Saved the sale.
And usually you don't get good feedback on tech support.
Yeah.
Typically tech support is one of those, you talk about them like you do juice car salesmen. But our tech support guys, Chris, Homero, all those guys over there, absolutely phenomenal.
That's great.
And we know it. We say this internally as well. We count on you guys a lot. And the only thing that we get is the escalations when it's really like kind of like out of their hands. And that doesn't happen a lot. That's like, it's honestly it's something that's really great in our partnership. It's we count on you guys.
That's great.
Very, very much so. That's,
and I think we talked about it earlier, but if a dealer is very advanced in automation and they've been doing it, with another distributor or another company, as soon as they come on board with Wave and with Savant, it applies to our Wave program, Premier program. Can you just talk about that in case they're not knowledgeable of what that's all about?
Yeah, as long as they're signed up for our reward program, then as soon as they start doing Savant, from the first purchase they make, they're getting that percentage back. It is a doubled percentage at 4% for the first 90 days.
Nice.
Which is, really nice to get that extra feedback or get that extra money back. But then carries through afterwards. So you're constantly getting rebates on it. You're constantly getting support from us on.
And I'm sorry, just to ask the dumb question. It applies to anything that we're doing with Savant.
Correct.
For that customer. So
correct. Any Savant
lighting,
product, lighting, shades,
automation products.
Yeah. So it helps offset some of the, cost and puts a little bit more money back in the dealer's pockets.
Yep.
Wonderfully, Savant has an excellent price margin already for dealers to make quite a bit. When you compare it against stuff like TVs and other things out there, you can go make 5% on TVs. You can go make 45% on Savant.
Well, and I think that's what I hear Trevor talking about, electrical systems and power systems and getting homes, to be able to be off the grid for some percentage of time and really manage electricity. That seems to be the next thing, right? I mean, we're still trying to bring integrators into lighting and shades and automation. 10 years from now, they're going to need to be in these electrical systems. So Savant really is giving Wave the tools to help these guys run and gals to run these businesses for decades to come.
Yeah.
Just got to get in, got to jump in.
You've got to grow.
Join us in the ride. Exactly.
Yeah.
You got to grow and we have to evolve. Like
Yeah.
it's the same thing that I've seen Wave evolve over the years. And always like a different approach to anybody else out there. And like, I think Wave was the first kind of like come into our shop and pick what you need and walk out. The speaker rooms like
this is somebody's sound room and somebody's going to be waiting to get in here.
Yeah, exactly. So, and it's the same thing. That's why I like our partnership. We're both always looking at like, what else do we need to do? And it's really helping our industry grow because otherwise, I don't think it's smart to like sit still.
Yeah.
And just wait for the job to come. We got to think ahead. What's next?
Yeah.
You can't be stagnant on it. And I mean, you have to adapt with the times. I mean, there's guys who just want to try to sell TVs, and I don't see a lot of them left. There's just
can't survive in that way.
No, not out there in the way things are going now. You've got to be up to date on the automation, the energy side.
Yeah, and I think
I noticed that 10 years ago, the consumers didn't really know.
Right.
The consumer kind of had to have a smart friend or somebody else got there first. Well, now it's just part of life.
Everybody has something
the consumers have some knowledge from the very first conversation.
Yeah.
So,
well, and think about their cars, right? Our cars have a lot of smart technology in there. So we're surrounded by smart technology.
Yep.
So like we need to do the same thing in our home. And with anything, there's different levels of that available. And something else that we're doing that we're like driving our industry in and actually trying to help the dealers also make more out of their business is our subscription model. It's something that we've been, let's say, working on for several years. We introduced a few years ago, and it's really starting to evolve. And I think dealers are appreciating it more and more. It hasn't been easy. I'm going to be honest with you guys, but I think it's important for the dealer's business to understand I need a way to like get paid for some of these service calls, upgrades, or service calls that actually had nothing to do with what we had installed. So, and we see now many dealers using our subscription model and bringing it into their own service model. And again, we've kind of pioneered this. It's not necessarily new in the insurance in the alarm industry. That's very common. But I think this is a kind of like a direction that we need to help our entire partners base here, dealer base with, like look ahead of your business and start looking at a service model, recurring revenue model, bring value into the company, get paid for your service calls. And it's something that I think we just gotta continuously highlight. And it's not easy. And I think more and more folks are starting to see this. That
software as a service is one of the fastest growing markets. So,
absolutely.
And it's Savant just getting involved in that and then giving that opportunity to dealers, and utilizing it for what it can be.
Exactly.
An extra stream of revenue.
And it actually enables us also, it's not necessarily tied to each other, but it also enables us to bring like really great software features forward, like Savant Central Management, like an online tool for any of our integrators. And like no matter what size job they have, to see the jobs remotely, update, troubleshoot, like configure systems remotely, a home manager, another tool for the homeowner. So we're able to like deliver these software tools with like the help of subscription services as well. So it's again just moving that industry, our industry forward, and good times.
Very much.
Well,
so.
Robby, what have we missed? Anything?
Yeah.
We can save AI for the next episode.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know if we're ready to go into AI. I think that really kind of covers a lot of what's new out there. What's, a very good basis to start with for dealers who may be hesitant about either looking at Savant, switching to Savant. I've always said that picking up or changing an automation system for dealers is a lot like changing their religion. They get something, they use it. If it works, they kind of want to stick with it. So trying something new can be, scary. They don't want to lose money.
Yeah.
They don't want to run into a situation where they don't understand what they're getting involved in. And so you really have to give them that full support background, and understanding that, look, you're not going to get left, out in the cold. You're not going to be, this isn't something where we're going to be like, okay, cool, you're signed up now, go ahead and
figure it out.
Do your thing. You're on your own. We're that's not how it works. So, all the dealers that I've worked with that have moved over to Savant have picked up the line and worked with us. There's challenges. There's always going to be challenges, but we've found solutions to every one of them. Yeah. And all of them are now, deploying Savant systems left and right, doing extremely well with the line and very, very happy with it. Yeah. So if it's something, for any dealers watching this, if you haven't checked it out yet, let us know. We'll be more than happy to give you a full rundown if it's anything beyond this. So,
Trevor, anything that we didn't cover?
No, I think we went through pretty much everything we do together. And then again, I really appreciate the partnership. Again, I've known Wave for a very long time, always pushing the limits as well, looking into new areas and how we can help our dealers. And like Robby, like you just said, like anybody that's kind of like, what, I really should try it. Give it a try. We're here to help you, all of us as a team together. And the fact that we have brand champions in each single region, then you have our support. I mean, there's no better time. No better time to give us a try.
All right. Thank you for listening. Wave Talks. Oh, sorry, Robby. What? I thought you were going to add something.
No, I'm saying thank you.
Tell the people thank you.
Well, thank you.
Thank you.
If you want to hear something special, or maybe you'd like to get a message over to Robby or to Trevor, send us an email, wavetalks@waveinc.net, or tell us what you thought of the episode. Maybe you want to hear about some totally different category of our business. We are happy to help with anything you need, except maybe pet care. We don't really cover that yet.
Who knows?
I walked Donnie's dog.
That's right. We do offer in Scottsdale. We offer dog walking service.
We have a shop dog, emotional support animal. She is awesome.
It's Lucy. Stop in, say hello to Lucy. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you. Involved in
better time to give us a try.